Howdy doody guys, I'm the Helm15, welcome to the Minecast. Today I'm joined with Jacoby
Hi,
Jones
gamer.
1021, Star Gamer, and Sweet Angel O'Death. I am going to get my stream pulled up if everyone would like to say their own names so we can check mic quality. Not you, Jacoby. So Star, go ahead and...
Doggy Magia. Why did I?
Okay, Star's mic's fine. Angel, are you including your audio or no? Okay. With that... You're good. With that being said, the title of this week's Minecast episode is Minecast episode number 20, Reset. The reason it is titled Reset is we are reinventing the Minecast. We're making an attempt to structure it. That being said, I, your lovely host, the Helm15, are going to start us off with a discussion topic. And that topic is... This is something you guys in the comment section can answer as well. What is your most uncomfortable feeling / sensation? What is the one feeling you absolutely hate? It can be clothes, it can be something touching your neck, anything. So how this is going to go is we're going to go Star, Jacoby, Angel, and then I will answer my own question. And we'll kind of keep this kind of rotation. So, Star?
I probably have to say just certain clothing, and I had like some necklaces and whatnot give me issues.
Okay. They're definitely understandable.
Other than that, normally everything's just fine. Don't have an uncomfortable feeling. Why am I talking in accent?
Because you're being put on the spot. You're not used to this. You're experiencing anxiety for the first time.
I also randomly get into accents and whatnot. But not normally this early.
Anyway, Jacoby. The question is, what is your least favorite sensation or feeling? Like, what is one feeling that makes you uncomfortable? And you can answer multiple. Bracelets. Yeah. I can definitely understand that. I used to really not like, I know the reason. Yeah.
Oh, ow.
Yeah. No, I definitely understand that. And lastly, Angel.
Wet food.
Wet food.
Yes, wet food.
That's a very unique answer.
I hate wet food.
You talking like chili, you talking like soups.
Just food that is wet and touching my skin where it's not supposed to.
Touching your skin, okay.
Honestly, I'd like to know that as well.
I have. That doesn't mean I don't like it.
Fair point. For me, and I feel like at least one other person here is going to agree with this once I say it. For me, it's like having a single pant leg rolled up when the other one isn't. Because I wear jeans a lot, and like, if I pour something on myself or if I make myself bleed, I have to like rinse my feet off. Or like a single foot. So having to have, like, keep one pant leg rolled up while the other one isn't is just such a weird feeling to me. Because it bothers me. Like, if they were both rolled up, it's like, okay, they're both rolled up. There's a reason for it. Like, if you go wading in, like, a creek, you're gonna roll both pant legs up. But if you're just, like, sitting
Yeah.
playing a game and one's rolled up because your foot's drying, it's like, I don't like this.
Hmm. Hmm.
Alrighty.
Also, try having socks and stepping in water.
Yeah, wet socks is just the worst. I don't care who you are. Wet socks is just not a fun one. Another one for me,
I
this isn't
dislike wet socks.
this isn't clothing, but have you ever like stepped on like soggy cereal, like a piece of cereal's like fallen on the ground that was slightly damp and then you step on it and just mush under your foot? I hate it. It's such a weird feeling.
I don't think that's ever happened with me.
Yeah. What about like wet dog food? Like if a dog's got like accidentally splashed water in it, it's like hard dog food. Like dry dog food.
Ugh.
Because dry dog food, when it gets wet, it expands and gets like super mushy. Ugh.
I've definitely had to pick up wet dogs.
Yeah. It's like we used to have our dog food like contain like where we would feed our dogs. Well, we used to have.
Oh, I've stepped in that before.
We used to have where we would feed.
Yes.
Mm.
Especially with my sister doing it. You know that was bad.
Yeah, that's why I barely ever walk barefoot, like anywhere that has dogs. But no, it's just like we used to have where we would feed our dogs. Like both the dogs' food bowls used to be right next to the water bowl. So they would like stop in the middle of eating, go to get a drink and like slop water into their dog food bowls. And I was the one that always had to clean it up. It's like, oh my god, this is just horrible.
Disgusting.
Yeah. Just horrible.
Yeah.
But
Oh yay! I can. Ooh yay!
we are all kind of concluded with that discussion. If no one else has any further ideas,
I do not.
I will happily hand it over to Angel for him to ask his question.
All right. Well, for my question, for all of you, what is the worst injury you've experienced?
So, me, then Star, then you, Chicubby. So I'll enter first. We'll just keep going kind of the same order, just like rotating. My worst ever injury, there's two. One was, I think I've told this story before. It's a very stupid story. A lot of people no longer think very highly of me because of the story. When I was, I want to say like 4th grade going into 5th grade, me and my younger cousins and my younger brother had gotten this bright idea to go down a slide on our feet. Now, this slide was at my grandmother's house, and the slide itself was fastened to a swing set by clamps. So we done it a couple times on our feet, a-okay, no problem. But then the 3rd or 4th time, someone, not gonna name names, had the bright idea to pour soda pop, an entire like 2-liter of Faygo, on this plastic slide.
Oh no.
And I slipped. Well, it was my cousin AA around. And me. It was a joint effort. But I slipped and I fell and I managed to hit my left arm on one of the metal swing set poles.
Did you break it?
I broke the outermost bone and fractured the inner bone almost completely. I was literally told had it been any worse, they would have had to actually like use pins to like set my arm. I would have had pins in my arm and a metal brace had it been any worse. Yeah. And then the second worst injury, now this one's like very much so pales in comparison to that one. I had been, this was probably a year or so later. We were wrestling somewhere just in our local town, just hanging out wrestling. It was me and my younger cousin Aaron, and a couple family friends. Well, I can't remember exactly what happened. I don't remember if like I had hit the one guy in his like nose or face or something that made him angry, but he proceeded to pile drive me into solid dirt. And this resulted in me developing a hematoma. If you don't know what hematoma is, it is a blood clot that forms on your skull. Depending where it forms, it can cause pressure on your eyes or even ears and can cause you to go permanently blind or deaf. Luckily, it wasn't in an area very concerning, and luckily it didn't have to be punctured and drained, because it's another thing that can happen. But I had basically a minor concussion and a hematoma for multiple weeks during a summer break one year because of this.
Wow, that really sucks.
Yeah, both of them happened over summer break. Like the arm breaking happened like 2 weeks before we went back to school or something like that. So again, I was in a cast like most of the summer break. No, it was even like further than that. Cause I had the half arm. I had the forearm cast when we went back to school. So it was like mid-summer break when it happened. But my grandmother's house had a pool, and because the cast wasn't waterproof, I wasn't able to swim in the pool for basically the entirety of the summer break. Another thing that complicated the cast process was at one point in time I had like messed up in the shower and gotten the actual cast wet, like the full length one. And that or I just sweat a lot. So I used to sweat a lot more than I do now. And when the nurse was cutting off the original cast, the full-length cast, Jacoby, your audio is getting very distracting.
It is very loud.
Yeah,
sir.
like I'm not trying to be mean, but it's like it's as if I'm just sitting next to your TV. Sorry.
Thank you.
I play with my TV muted 9 times out of 10. So I've just gotten so used to. Yeah. No, you're good, man. But yeah, so I either sweat a lot or had gotten like water in it. So when the nurse went to cut off the cast, it managed to the circular saw turned the water on that had soaked into the gauze on my arm into steam, and caused a minor burn, but still a burn, the entire length of from like my bicep to my wrist, all down my arm. And I freaked out over it. So the forearm cast ended up being waterproof. So when like months later, when that one was ready to be taken off, what I kept doing when I realized it was loose was I was slipping my thumb out of the cast, like into the cast. Because I was always a kid where it's like, hey, look at this thing I can do that's funny. Like trying to impress like classmates. So I was at school slipping it into my cast and slipping it out because people thought it was cool. Well, I made the mistake while we were at a school event to do it in front of my mother. And she goes, well, I guess it's time for you to get your cast off. And after the experience with the first cast, I freak out, like literally scream, which again, mind you, I'm in like 4th or 5th, like 5th grade. I'm in 5th grade at the time. No, it was 3rd into 4th. I'm in 4th grade. And I freak out at this public school event with teachers and other parents there. Like I'm literally like this was again before puberty, so my voice was a lot higher pitched. I'm literally like shrieking in public. My mom was so embarrassed. But like
Oh God.
in hindsight, it was very understandable because again, I had been literally given okay, Jacoby, I'm gonna get called stupid here because I was in Boy Scouts. I should know this. What's the is it first degree? That's the minor one. Yeah, I was literally given first degree burns by this nurse during the process of taking out the first
Okay.
cast.
It wasn't her fault.
No, it was not. It was not. It wasn't. It wasn't even. It was like sweat. I just sweat that much. But yeah, it was just I had such a traumatic experience with the first cast that I just when my mom had said in public, "Hey, looks like it's time for you to get your cast off," I just freaked out. I was like, "No, you're not. You can't take me. You can't make me do it." And then even after I had that cast off, I had to wear a brace for like another month after that. I may still have the brace somewhere. I don't recall. But yeah. I will definitely say, like, the breaking the arm was a lot worse than the hematoma. Because I had cut my head open prior to, like, I've had my head cut open twice. Once was Rogue. We used to share a bedroom when we lived at our previous house. Rogue, one night, had the bright idea to leave his bottom dresser drawer open. I, for some reason, rolled out of bed in the middle of the night and hit the back of my head on the corner of the dresser drawer. I walk into my mother's room, which we always kept the kitchen light on. We always had at least one light on in the house, so like we could find our way around at night. So I walk in my mom's room and I'm like, "Hey, my head hurts." She's like, "You're fine, honey," because I had school the next day. She's like, "You're fine, honey. Just go back to bed." I turn around and this was like I wore white shirts to bed. Like they had bought me like like the plain like white shirts that you buy at Walmart, like a 12-pack. That's what I wore to sleep. I wore pajama bottoms and then that. I guess they're like undershirts. I turn around and she sees just red all down my back. And this was the only time she freaked out. And yeah, she took me to the family doctor. I had to have stitches, which, fun story, I actually ran out of the examination room at the family doctor's office because I have always, it's not as bad now, but when I was young, I had an irrational fear of needles. So when the doctor grabs the needle to numb the area so they can stitch my head closed, I freak out, run out of the doctor's office, and the like front desk nurse had to physically grab me and carry me back into the doctor's the examination room. So I've had a lot of traumatic medical experiences. And then the second time I had my head cut open, which luckily we were at another cousin's house his grandmother and grandfather both.
Your cousins and getting hurt there.
Yeah, it's my cousins are fun. I have all boy cousins. I have one female cousin. The rest are all male. So I got hurt a lot. But both of his grandparents were paramedics for our local fire station, so they both were ambulance drivers and all that. So what happened is we had gotten in a fight over a toy lightsaber, and he threw it at me and hit me the front of the head. Not actually all that far from where the hematoma had been. And cut me open. And so I was taken in by his mother or his aunt or something like that to his grandmother, who again was a paramedic, and she was like, "Oh, nope," and just super glued my head closed. And it healed fine. I actually have less of a scar from that than I do from the stitches. My head healed better from just crazy glue than the actual stitches. Kind of crazy. But yeah, I've had a lot of fun injuries, but none of them super severe. I've told the one. I'm sorry if anyone else wants to jump in here and interrupt me, by all means, because there's two more I can tell.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I told the one prior. Yeah. I mean, I think I'm more than fine to keep going for a little bit longer since Vamp isn't here, so we have one less person to get to. So, I mean, yeah, fair point. But, the first one, which I've told this one before on the Minecast, but Angel wasn't there. I had been riding a bicycle, back where I used to live. Jacoby's heard this story multiple times. I think Star has as well. And, I can't remember what the reason was, but, I ended up, like, slamming on, because it was pedal brakes. I ended up slamming on the pedal brakes and went over the handlebars and slid for probably a solid 10 to 15 feet on a dirt road on my belly. And I had made the mistake of riding a bike without a shirt on. So I am bare belly down a dirt road for 10 feet. So I ended up with like road burn. And we have a hunch there's still at least like one pebble lodged in my stomach that got deeper than what we could get out. No one knows. I wasn't taken to the doctor for it. It was literally just like my mother put me in the shower, because again I was already shirtless, hosed me off with the shower head, picked out as many as she could, and then like lathered my like stomach in like Vaseline. But yeah.
Alright, we should go to the next person.
Yep. By all
There's a
means.
Group of good stories. Star.
I'm technically gonna have to pass on that since I've never actually had injuries.
Yeah, she hasn't.
Yes, you have.
No, she really hasn't.
No, I haven't.
That's also why I kind of went a little longer.
You haven't hurt yourself ever once in your entire
Okay.
life.
I mean, like, okay,
I'm sure her sister has a
I
couple
mean,
stories about like
yes.
falling off a horse, but
I've never had any like bad injuries.
didn't I drop you once?
You did. Technically, you did. No, you didn't. You pushed me off a couch several times.
Okay, she used to like when I was down there, she would fall asleep. Yeah, that was I pushed you off the couch on the other. I thought I tried to pick you up once and like failed, and we both fell. I think that was like the first time you were up here for my mom's memorial service.
No, you fell. You weren't trying to pick me up. You fell off a log stump.
Way to save it
went
and make yourself
backwards.
seem so much better.
Ah,
Yeah. I mean,
I do a lot of stupid stuff. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think Star has like a really serious injury.
Mm-mm.
I'm sure there's one that her mom could. I mean, you got bit by a squirrel once.
That's interesting. I want to hear about that.
Okay.
I want to hear about how you one
That
gets bitten by a squirrel.
That was traumatizing, and to
Yeah,
this
Star
day,
has a-
Angel, I am terrified of them.
She has a legitimate fear of squirrels.
Okay. so, so we're camping, have no idea where we went. You know, my sister's out and about, literally feeding squirrels, like hand feeding them, and she even hand fed like birds and whatnot. Well, since she was able to do that, I decided, you know what, let's try to
Do
feed
it
this
with
little squirrel.
squirrels.
And of course, I gave it a nickname.
I
Fighter.
thought you were at like a petting zoo that had squirrels. I didn't realize
No.
it was just at a random campground.
No, this was just a campground, so a wild squirrel.
That squirrel could have had rabies.
Just so you know, like afterwards,
Nah.
literally afterwards, after we got back, we heard that there was like a rabies outbreak,
Yeah,
like in that area.
you could have had rabies.
See, this is why I don't tell you most things.
Wow,
Yeah, I wasn't gonna say
Better
that.
to tell it than hide it forever.
that's a good story
Then
though.
you have to deal with the guilt.
But yeah,
I thought we
decided
told that
to
one on
try
the
to feed-
podcast before.
no.
Wow. Okay. Cool.
I said "Shh." You had mentioned it, but I never
I
said like
think that's
what
the
happened.
I think that's like the most personal story you've ever gotten out of Star.
Yeah. I thought it was a good idea to try to feed it. And we had like like Cheez-Its. So of course I had that. Instead of getting the Cheez-It, and I was holding it the same way that my sister was, it wanted meat apparently.
Well, it probably just
instead,
didn't like
so
the
it
color
lashed
orange.
a hold. My sister fed it Cheez-Its.
Weird.
It was completely fine.
I'm sure you could feed one like a Ritz cracker.
I am not. I have trust issues. If you haven't noticed already.
Yeah.
Against squirrels, mind you.
Yeah.
But yeah, instead of getting that, Cheez-It grabbed a hold of my finger. I was literally moving my hand to try to like yank it off,
she like
throw
wiggled
it.
to try to get it off of her.
No, I was violently
Thrashing it around.
Yeah, it would not get off.
I'm surprised it didn't
That
like
was
tear a chunk out of
traumatizing.
you.
I thought my finger
I'm
was
sure
gonna
it
get
wanted to.
infected afterwards.
I was gonna say, because I don't think I've seen any like scars from it.
No, my finger healed. I mean, it wasn't
Yeah.
like that bad. It just had like
Yeah.
part of my skin
Please
did
let me
get
finish
ripped
the
off.
hood, please.
So, you know. But yeah, to this day, I am now traumatized.
Yeah.
I've also had raccoons hate me before. And one of which actually, like, I think was a pet.
I had
Why
my own
would
dog
Jacoby
bite me
hate
once.
you?
I've also been bit by a possum.
What'd
I
you
had
that
do
was
to
also a
Jacoby to
pet.
make him hate you for a bit?
She said she had a raccoon
Never.
hate her for a bit. He was making a joke about you being a coon. You know, I had my own dog bite me once.
Yeah.
I was supposed to give him a bath, and I grabbed him by his scruff, and he wheeled and bit me in my wrist. And, like, literally an inch either way, he would have, like, hit the tendon. I couldn't use my hand for, like, a week. Anyway, Jacoby,
That's
your
a
turn.
4.0.
Worst injury, Jacoby. One's my fault. Yeah. Man, me and Jacoby both have swing set stories. Oh, so you got your like foot and like, so like your foot got caught like in like the crook of two like branches, like where like the fork of it hanging by just your ankle. That is insane. Jesus. You've never told me that story. Yeah, never. I've told my single set story like 12 times. I've never heard that one. Nah, you're good, G. Yeah. I broke his arm and fractured his wrist. An airsoft gun.
Oh God.
It was an airsoft.
Here we go.
It was a spring. It was a spring airsoft gun. Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to CW. Yeah. Yeah, this is at my current house. We had a storm. Well, yeah, but stream can't hear you, so I'm just repeating bits and pieces.
I can hear him just fine.
Well, he's on mobile, so stream he can't include his audio.
Oh.
So I'm like repeating bits and pieces, so stream at least has some sort of context. Yeah. It, 8th grade. And you gotta think, Jacoby's always been big. Yeah, he's always been fairly tall and decently husky. So he had, like, what do you say, like 180, 200 pounds going onto that wrist? 250? Okay. See, I lowballed because I don't want to offend you. Angel's seen a photo of you. Yeah. Yeah, Angel and Vamp both saw a photo of you and me from that one Memorial Day service. So that was 6th grade. So that would have been 2 years prior to that. So you didn't weigh nearly that much then, but yeah, you were still. Yeah. Yeah, you did put on a decent amount of weight between 6 and. She give me Advil or ibuprofen? Yeah, I was gonna say we always had ibuprofen in the house. Yeah, no. Yeah, see, she had prior because when I broke my arm, I cried for like maybe a minute total, and then I was like, just calm the rest of the time. So yeah.
Because your body kind of starts going into shock.
Yeah. Yeah, me and Jacoby both had fairly good pain tolerances when we were younger.
I mean, so
I
do
don't
I.
anymore. I'm a little B word when it comes to pain now.
I've never had a good pain tolerance.
Didn't she also like? Weren't you supposed to like do physical therapy, and she didn't allow you to like do physical therapy or something like that? I was gonna say I remember that part, even though like you weren't talking to me. I heard that from I want to say Loud Boogie. Someone had told me that. Okay, and maybe it was Lotion. I don't remember. Someone had told me. It may have even been Burke. That was the year. I've been on the snap forever. That was the year he got caught doing something in a English classroom.
He
Dude,
was masturbating.
yeah, he was. So to put this into perspective, Zach, I won't say his last name. Also, won't say how he spells his name because he spells it it's spelled very weirdly. He has Tourette's. No, he still does. It's not nearly. I mean, his like tics, like his physical tics, are still very bad, but his like verbal are basically non-existent. Uh, yeah. I was gonna say, I remember a few times in God, I want to say I had homeroom with him 6th grade. He had some pretty bad outbursts. But yeah, Zach was a cool guy. But anyway, Jacoby, did you have one more or? Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say there's an entire story there that we won't get into. No. Or ask me when Jacoby's not around. Yeah, yeah. Dummy pain tolerance, so I didn't even realize something was actually wrong. I'm gonna have to remember that because I haven't had mine removed. Yeah.
Ah!
Yeah, I was gonna say you hit the
God.
ground. Oh yeah. 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 See, I think some of my pain tolerance when I was younger wasn't like I had a high pain tolerance. It was just I was more willing to bite a hole in my lip, grimacing, than to admit that I was in pain. Like I had that kind of willpower. Now I just like if I'm in pain, it's like okay, I'm gonna go cry to Jess because she'll take care of me. Let them get enough hits in that it gets caught on camera, then you just ka-thunk. Yeah. Let them give you a nice bruise so you can prove it. Anyway, Angel, what's yours?
Well, I this was during close my door. I don't want anybody coming in my room. Anyways, so one of my worst experiences when it comes to pain ever was or well, it's not pain, but injury I've ever had. I was on my motorcycle, and while that was going on, I was kind of going through a bit of a more open region of the area,
Yeah.
and I didn't realize, but it started It was wet because it was raining like maybe 40 minutes before.
Oh God, I think I
So
know
I
where this
got
is
off the
going.
highway. Got off the highway. And I still have pictures of it. I still have pictures of my injury. Um, front tire slips out, and then it hits it honestly it hits the entire um one of a pothole that was going on.
Oh jeez.
So the entire front part of my bike breaks off,
Oh God.
and that hit me in the head. The tire hit me in the head, so I flew off. Go into the shrubs. I swear to you, I black out or get knocked out or something. I wake up, look down. There's just a branch embedded into my ankle.
Oh jeez.
Like, think like what happens when you get a splinter,
Yeah. But like
but
10 times
replace
that.
that with maybe with like a size of a rebar,
Yeah. Jesus.
just in my ankle, just chilling. And then I wake up, I notice, the entire engine block is on my leg. So I couldn't grab my phone because I was still dealing. One, I was still mostly unconscious because most of my body wasn't functioning yet.
Definitely
Didn't
had a
feel any pain because I'm
concussion.
in complete shock.
Yeah.
Pretty
Definitely
sure
at
I got
least a
intimate
little
with one of the trees
concussed.
there because I could see blood on my head.
Oh.
So I definitely got intimate with one of the trees there, which is always fun.
Always. Yeah.
But other than that, couple maybe 5 minutes pass, and all the pain starts kicking in. Engine block on my arm, branch in my leg. Eventually, someone comes over, notices, and I'm like, "Help, please." They call 911, and eventually there's an ambulance, and then I'm all fine now.
Yeah.
I mean, I can still see a dent in my arm to this day, but
Yeah. How long do you think you were unconscious?
maybe it's 2 minutes.
Okay.
I don't know.
Not that
Not
long.
long.
Yeah.
Long enough because I
Crazy.
don't remember actually hitting the tree. I just remember going towards the tree and then waking up.
Yeah. Yeah, see, I have a couple, not personally, but I know a couple fun motorcycle stories. My dad
Yeah.
ended up he was taking a curve a little too fast in the rain, managed to put a motorcycle sideways and go into like, literally, the bike went under a guardrail, he went over the guardrail and ended up in someone's yard.
Huh.
And then my uncle had been like working on like a dirt bike or a motorcycle, and the kickstand just randomly gave out. And he had been riding this for a decent chunk of time before working on it. So it ends up on his leg, and the radiator burnt a hole in his calf.
Huh.
Like, I saw pictures of it, and it was not very pleasant.
Yikes.
But yeah. Anyway, Jacoby, your question. We're gonna have Star go last because my ending question kind of ties with hers. And
Well, I don't really need to answer that because
kind of the exact same. Yeah. I was gonna say I think it is Angel first for that one.
yeah, you already know my answer, and it's literally just the same thing I just said. So
Yeah.
no, I do, but it overshadows it so much that there's really no point in saying it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Alright.
And then Star?
Uh,
Would Star be next? Yeah.
I can't think of any.
What about the
Even though I've
So boring, Star.
Star? What about the one spirit that allegedly lives in your house?
To me, it's not scary.
You can still talk about it. It's a neat little topic. Because, I mean, your family is, like, fairly Christian, and yet that was, like, one of the first topics that I was told when I kind of lived there.
I mean, where we used to live, like, as we were moving away, I guess we had, like, bad spirits there.
Yeah.
Which I never told you.
But what about, like, your current house? Because there was one that your mom had told me about.
I mean, I don't think that's here anymore.
Okay. Okay, never mind.
When there's not really much to tell with that.
Yeah, never mind. Yeah, like Jesus, no one's interested here. I guess. I guess it's my turn.
Well,
now.
I can't really send more than what I've already got. So.
Yeah. No, Angel, you're fine.
I mean, I have
I'm poking fun
like
at
a
Star.
fun alligator story that was also kind of scary as well.
Oh yeah,
especially
Star almost
since
died.
I didn't
Go
realize.
with that thing.
I just realized that, so shut.
Go ahead, Star. We got time.
So again, we're at another campsite, totally different one. Me and my
camping
sister
lot.
are over here, just riding our like scooters and whatnot all over the place, and we go down. Or no, actually that was actually kind of funny. I have another story. So we're just doing who knows what, same campsite, probably same trip. But yeah, I guess there was an alligator that was in the water. And of course, I tend to whistle quite a bit.
Oh,
And I guess apparently the alligator was napping in the water. And what I didn't realize, my sister mentioned it, guess it was hissing. It had its mouth wide open. It was coming out of that water.
Towards them.
I didn't see any of that. Besides, like,
why are you blind? You are blind.
No, she's just very like clumsy and very like unaware of her surroundings a lot.
That's just blind with extra steps, man.
Like, I honestly feel like Star's the type of person, like, if you move like a table slightly, she'll just run into it because she's so used to
Again,
things being
blind
a
with
certain way.
extra steps.
Just so you know, Hound, I have actually done that before.
I was gonna say, I've heard you like stub your toe on your like coffee table that you just recently got.
I stubbed my toe on everything, including the actual floor. Like, I
Yeah.
can just walk
Ow.
on the wood floor or tile,
She's just
anything, and I
very
managed
clumsy.
to stub my toe.
She is the specimen that needs studied. I'm gonna be 100% honest.
But would you like to hear another fun alligator story?
Sure. I'd love to.
Which
I
I
don't know if the other two want to hear.
think.
Go ahead, Star.
So again, same campsite, like I said, probably same trip. So I guess a lot of people there did have like alligator statues. And again, riding our scooters down this one road. But I didn't realize I didn't see an alligator. Again, thought it was a statue. My sister, almost said her name. Oops. My sister was trying to catch like a rabbit. And of course, just staring right at the alligator, thinking it was a statue, I had said to her, "Is that an actual alligator or is that a statue?" Apparently it was just an alligator just chilling there.
Sunbathing.
Then
alligator.
well, it wasn't sunbathing. It was under a tree.
Okay, sitting in the
like
shade.
in someone's house. Yeah, pretty much.
Regardless.
But yeah, then I almost had the smart idea of trying to go like around, like going in front of it to leave. So not too long after that, of course, we decided to just stay back. ended up going forward to try to go to a small lake. And of course, at that point, like I literally messaged or called our dad, telling him about the alligator, and he ended up just coming over. And I guess it was a decently good-sized gator as well. You know, fun little alligator
The moral of the story is Star must let her younger sibling be eaten by an alligator because she thought it was a statue.
Moral of the story? Blind with extra steps.
So
Alright.
you know.
So I guess it's my turn. I don't have really, like, good stories, to be honest. Like, especially scary.
Lame.
Well, I say that, but I do. I think the scariest... This isn't really like a story, this is more like just an experience. We were camping once at a lake. A friend of ours owns a house on a lake. We were camping there. With, again, my younger cousins, Aaron and his younger brother.
I shall be right back. I have to go to the bathroom.
Alrighty. But... See, I want to wait for Angel to get back to finish telling the story. Because this one's not, like, scary, but it was very scary, like, in the moment. I think Jacoby knows that story. And then the other story I have to tell, Jacoby definitely knows. Creeper! Nope, I'm dead.
The creeper wants to be your friend, so wants cuddles. Just so you know, Jacoby, I do this all the time to Angel whenever he's playing Dauntless. I'll say, oh, you know, I want to be your friend.
I just lost a solid quarter of my entire tree farm.
Oof.
Because this creeper blew up. There's going to be at least one person in the comment section. Well, I know you're just playing peaceful. Because that's for wusses. I like the challenge. Just don't like having to rebuild things constantly.
And it does get to a point where I just put my world on peaceful.
Yeah.
Especially if I'm trying to build a house and it just turns into nighttime.
Jacoby, did you end
Before
up
I'm
telling a
able to do
scary
that.
story or no? Okay. Oh, right, yeah, you go. Sorry, yeah, you go last. I forgot whose question this was. Yeah, no, you do go last. I don't know what,
Hello.
Okay, Angel's back. Alright. Angel, I kind of waited for you to get back because this is a very interesting story. I don't want you to hear this one.
Continue.
So we were camping, and my brother, Rogue, and my cousin Aaron had decided to take the canoe out. No, they decided to take the paddle boat out before anyone else had gotten up. Like, my mother was still asleep. And so when I wake up, my younger cousin, Aaron's younger brother, wants to go out in the canoe to them. So we get in the canoe. Again, I'm fully dressed. Like, I slept fully clothed. My phone is in my pocket, and I forget this. And luckily, I was smart and made my younger cousin wear a life jacket. But needless to say, me, my baby cousin, who is a full 6 years younger than me, my brother, and my cousin Aaron, who him and Rogue are the same age, decide to play chicken with a canoe and a paddle boat. The canoe goes up the front of the paddle boat, flips over, and I and my baby cousin end up in the lake. I'm fully clothed, including tennis shoes, going completely under. Then I have to swim and drag my cousin, who, mind you, is, like, again, 6 years younger than me, this was a couple years ago, to shore. And I kid you not, that is the longest I have been underwater. And the literal most terrifying experience, because I just remember the boat flipping. I opened my eyes and everything is like a murky, like brownish yellow. And it's like, I am underwater. And I'm going to drown unless I swim in that direction.
I'm going to die.
That was the most like scary experience I have ever had. Because again, it wasn't like just me I was like worried about. It was also like, again, my little tiny cousin who I'm responsible for him. But luckily no one was hurt. The phone was ruined. But yeah, all's well that ends well. And then the all-time scariest story I have, Jacoby wasn't involved with this one, but he's heard this one multiple times. When we first moved here, we hadn't really explored the property much. We just come here to look at the property before we actually bought it. And so after we had moved in here, I decided to explore the back barn. There's a barn here on the property. And it is while I am doing this, there is a ladder in this barn that goes up to a loft. No one had been up there in our family. And so as I'm climbing this ladder, I feel something unexplainable place basically a hand on my chest and push me physically off this ladder. And I fell probably at least 4 feet off this ladder and landed on my back and had the air completely knocked out of my lungs. And from then on, I have never gone up that ladder. I don't care what's up in that loft. But,
well, it clearly doesn't want you in that loft anyway, so there's no point in going in.
Something there that I cannot explain that physically pushed me off of a ladder. No.
You have fun with that, sir.
And the worst thing was, I did this during the day. It's like 3 in the afternoon, broad daylight, when I'm doing this. Wasn't like 3 a.m. at night, spooky hour. This was during the day.
The happy hour. It's 3 p.m.
Full daylight out. And something inexplainable pushes me off a ladder and results in me falling multiple feet down, landing on my back and having the wind knocked out of my lungs. So yeah, so the two scary stories result in me almost dying.
Spooky.
And now Jacoby, your turn. Yeah. I have good memories of that one. Mm-hmm. Yeah. 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 No lifeguard of that lake. Yeah. Yeah. That's the... Yeah. That lake, at least I think it was Pike Lake. If it wasn't Pike, it was Center. This was when my mom was young. She grew up in that town. Early, like very late winter, early spring, Someone, no one knows if they were suicidal. No one knows the real story.
Being
But
drowned.
someone had decided to drive a Volkswagen Beetle out onto the ice off of the pier and went in, and the body was never recovered. So there is still
That's
a
way worse than I thought it was.
yeah, there is still a Volkswagen Beetle with a corpse sitting in the bottom of that lake.
I want to find it.
That lake's like at least 60 feet deep. It's like 60 feet deep in the middle. Yeah.
I'll just scan it.
Yeah, like that lake had multiple people like drive off into it that were recovered because they didn't get that far. But this person was like either they were suicidal or something, but they were like committed to getting out there and not being recovered. Yeah. Well, people during the
Oh,
during the winter, people would go out on the ice towards the middle and leave like stolen property just on the ice, so that when the ice melted, it'd just fall in. Easiest way to dispose of evidence. I'm pretty sure that city has since like actually like formed a scuba team for their police office.
Huh.
Uh,
I find that funny that that's something that needs to happen.
I mean, a lot of cities with like big lakes or like large river systems have their own diving teams for the police office.
Yeah.
Because I knew that city had multiple boats for like fishing licenses checks and stuff. But I'm pretty sure they formed at least a small like 2-person scuba team since. Yeah. But yeah, it's crazy, very crazy.
Wow.
See, honestly, Jacoby, again, that's another story you never told me. I thought you were gonna tell the story of me and you almost dying here at my house. Oh, then go ahead. No, it wasn't starting to storm. It was starting to get dark. Was this? It was a snowstorm. Yeah. 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 I mean, it was again. This was middle winter. Like maybe. No, it was earlier than that. It was like 6 or something. Because it gets dark here pretty early in the winter. Yeah. We had been out there for at least an hour. Yeah. Yeah. No, I get what you mean. Yeah. No. Okay. I mean, you remember the story differently. Yeah. Me and you remember that story very differently because there wasn't something chasing us. We looked across the backyard into the neighbor's wood line and we saw something unexplainably tall move a branch. It wasn't chasing us, it was in front of us. So we walked towards it to try and get a better look. And as we
Oh,
were
of course
walking
you fucking did.
towards it, a like 10+ foot branch just snapped out of a pine tree and fell at least 6 feet down to the ground, feet from where we had been standing. That's the thing. Us walking towards this whatever creature we had seen saved us. Had we been standing in the spot we were when we saw it, the tree would have landed on us. Whatever this, it was taller than Jacoby at least. So it was like 7 to 8 feet tall, if not more. Whatever this figure was, again, inexplainable, complete paranormal activity, saved our lives. Had we stayed where we
Always
were
fun.
standing or kept walking where we were planning to walk, the limb would have landed on us. Both. It is terrifying. My property is...
You guys live in the Appalachia area, right?
No.
Oh.
We
Oh, my
live
bad.
about an hour from Michigan.
Oh, my bad. I forgot. For some reason, I thought you guys lived in the Appalachia area. I'm like,
No. Uh-huh.
yeah.
I'm
No,
sorry
we
about
Like,
all
that is some
these
Appalachia
stories
type
just been
stories, bro.
giving me chills. Not
Yeah, no, we've had... No, me and Jacoby have had a lot of paranormal experiences here at this house.
Oh, I don't know. I would count some parts of Indiana as close to Appalachia.
Down south, like, there's a trail down south called the Knobstone Trail. It is referred to as the Appalachian Trail of Indiana. I hiked that. It's 25 miles total with, if you go down and back, it's 50. So we did one half of it. We did 25 miles across 3 days of hiking. Deep in the woods, deep in the mountains. And
You know the word. You know what the scariest thing you could ever hear in the woods?
banjos.
Like deep in the woods.
Banjos.
I was gonna say yeah. I was gonna say another human.
We were down in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, and up in the Smoky Mountains, just walking around near a cabin we had rented, and out of nowhere, just banjos. And yeah, that is terrifying.
Banjos.
No, when I was on the Knobstone Trail, the scariest thing was we again we've been on this trail for multiple days, seen multiple people on this trail. But on day 2.5, we came across a single shotgun shell, a blue shotgun shell. So it was one of the blue magic ones, the high velocity shotgun shells. Again, like 20 plus miles deep on this trail. I guess 5 from the other way. But, you're in the woods. And this shotgun shell had been recently fired. I still have it. It's rusted a lot since then. But literally was warm. And I kid you, none of us heard a shotgun shell. None of us heard a shotgun shot. None of us heard a gunshot the entire time we were on this hiking trip. But we just
Silenced shotgun.
and it's literally, I kid you not, on the trail, and this is the scariest part, standing up on its brass. Someone had ejected it, found it, and set it standing up in the middle of the trail as you're walking. And right before where we found it is these wooden stairs going uphill at a literal 90-degree incline. You go all the way up this, it slightly plateaus, and then you go back downhill. And it's just middle of the trail, standing up on its own. Recently shot.
Huh.
No one heard, yeah, terrifying. And we didn't see anybody else. No other people from there till the time we got off the trail. We hiked for 5 miles straight without seeing another soul.
You see, this is why I don't like the woods.
But yeah, nah, scary stories. I'm very glad we got to talk about these because me and Jacoby have quite a few. There's a few others that I don't really feel like delving into tonight. But yeah. So that leads us to Star. I know we're gonna have to find something else to talk about here, because again, I was kind of banking on the one person that isn't here being here to have an additional question because that would have given us another like 10 to 20 minutes of conversation. So, Star, go ahead. What is your question? She forgot her own question. She's looking back at her messages as we speak, trying to find where we talked about it.
Okay. Oh, I forgot.
What the
I
heck?
had resent it. Angel, zip. There was a zombie apocalypse. What weapon or weapons, I guess, would you choose?
And so, weapon, singular.
Like weapons or weapon? Oh, you can't have multiple?
Nope. Zombie apocalypse starts tomorrow. What is one weapon? The one weapon you would reach for. You don't have to own it. Any weapon. Man, we've been going at this so long, I don't even remember what the original rotation was. No, it was Star, Jacoby, Angel. Because we had you go in the middle, that way I could repeat yours. So, you go first, Jacoby. No, because it was Star, you.
Let's just pick at random.
Yeah, so Star's the one asking the question. No! No, it goes you, Angel, me, then Star. Oh my god!
Okay. Oh,
He's joking, he's joking.
this is fun.
No, Star's delivery of the question was just like, Star?
What?
Nah, you're good, Jacoby.
What?
No, I said Star's delivery of the question was so bad, like, oh my lord, Star. And then Star thought I was trying to say something to her. So anyway, Jacoby, go ahead. What zombie apocalypse starts tomorrow? What is the sole weapon you would choose to defend yourself against zombies? Nope. I mean, theoretically. Compound bow. Okay. I thought you were gonna say something like 500 Nitro Express. It's like, well, that one's not gonna have infinite ammo because there's only so many bullets made for that caliber. Yeah, it's like, I'm gonna choose
AC-130 gunship.
Yeah, I'm gonna choose a 20mm, you know, GAU 8 Avenger.
GAU
It's
cannon.
like, there's only so many bullets that exist for that.
There can't be any zombies if there's no one left on the planet to become zombies. Nuke.
That's why when Jacoby was like, is ammo a problem? Like, not theoretically, but like if you do some like really like if my friend, you know, Jacoby knows who this is. If our friend Zaratha was on here, he would say some like very obscure caliber, and then we have to be like, okay, buddy, yeah, that's not gonna be infinite. No, he'd say like
M203 slap round.
He'd say like
the Sabo bullet for the BMGs.
Yeah. No, Zaratho would say like 500 Nitro. He's been a big fan of Nitro Express for a while, because that's like basically the calibers used to hunt elephants.
Of course. Why not?
He tried to convince me, because I write stories here and there, he tried to convince me to allow him to have a machine gun, like an assault rifle that fires 500 Nitro Express.
No!
Maybe it wasn't a...
That's Zaratho for you.
It was either
Literally?
an AR... It was either an
you
AR...
just go with the 50 caliber machine gun that fires M203 slap rounds.
It was either an AR or a, like, revolver. But regardless, he wanted, like, something that would not be firing 500 Nitro Express to be firing 500 Nitro. Yeah, go ahead. Explain why you choose crossbow. Oh, you can expand as well. I mean, I was... Compound
You
bow.
said
You're right.
compound
You're
bow,
right. You're right.
dummy.
My brain was thinking of Daryl Dixon.
We all love Daryl.
Jacoby really said wrong Dixon, bro. Yeah.
I did not know.
He may or may not be related to the pencil company.
Dixon.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
But anyway, yeah, go ahead, Jacoby. Kind of elaborate or expand. Draw
Yeah,
away,
loading
dude.
times of crossbows can suck.
Yeah, that's the thing with like a crossbow. It's like any crossbow that's gonna have the power to actually like put down a zombie is gonna have such a big draw. Like you're gonna kill. You might get off 10 shots of it before you like pull a bicep. Yeah, compound bows are a lot friendlier to the user. They're a lot more designed to make it easier for you to actually use. Yeah. I'm sure there's one person in like the comment section that's gonna be like, British longbow. It's like, okay, 90-pound draw weight, you fire it 10 times and your arms are literally spaghetti noodles? Yeah, sounds good, mate. It's like, they're like choosing these bows that have been proven to like penetrate through like plate armor, and it's like, brother, have you fired one of those before?
You realize that they fire in huge volleys for a reason, right?
Yeah.
And not rapid fire.
Yeah. They are not designed for you to fire more than like 10 rounds in a given battle. That's why, like, if you ever look at like archer formations, they have like 3 rows of archers. One will fire a volley, they'll fall back, and then another row. You don't have one guy just loosing 100 arrows in a row. Like, that is exhausting. Man, I definitely... I'm very glad someone didn't say, like, what type of zombies are we talking about? We talking Call of Duty? We talking Walking Dead? Are we talking Last of Us? Like, you know, are they triggered to sound, or is it scent, or... Yeah. Oh my god, why did I just do a moist critical impression accidentally?
I'm sorry.
Honestly, I do want to know what types of zombies they are.
I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, moist critical. That was unintentional. Yeah, I did. Like, I actually know him. No, that was accidental. I didn't even mean to do. I watched his
That was unprofessional.
How
dare you?
I watched his complaint video about having to release his Apex team recently. So like I have his voice fresh in my head. But who's next? Yeah, so Angel would be next.
Alright.
Oh, then continue. No, I keep repeating for the stream. Okay, go ahead.
You know, like moist critical for some reason.
Yeah.
True.
I mean, you can do that with like really any arrow though. Doesn't really matter about the bow. If you're using an arrow as a melee weapon. Yeah, they're shorter. Yeah, crossbow is shorter. This entire conversation has just been like why I chose compound over crossbow.
I mean, so?
Yeah. No, I understand. No, you're good, man. I mean, I have a whole nother discussion after this one, so... Then we gotta fill time after that. Didn't Hawkeye in one of the Avengers movies like use an arrow as a melee weapon?
Yep.
Yeah, I couldn't
Yep.
remember. I thought he did.
Yep.
I haven't watched most of the Avengers, sadly.
I can't do DC movies.
Dude,
I've seen
DC.
more Marvel-based things more than DC.
I haven't watched a DC movie since the original Suicide Squad.
I need to watch the Suicide Squad movies. Spider-Man.
Spider-Man's
which
just
one?
Spider-Man's just an amazing character.
No, which one?
It makes it.
He has
makes an
every
amazing
reason
character.
to be a villain, yet he isn't, and it's awesome.
Which
I
not really. He just had his like family like shot in front of him.
Have you not? Have you ever
are you talking about
seen all the
Batman?
shit Spidey has gone through,
Yeah,
bro?
I was gonna say
what
like
do you mean?
Spidey had his parents abandon him, had to live with his uncle
And
and
watched
aunt.
it, then got angry at his uncle, and then we got his uncle killed because of that.
Yeah.
Plus to bury
Oh, I
Aunt May,
forgot
plus
about
his
that.
best friend turned into the Goblin, and then his best friend's dad was also the Goblin.
I mean, I think we're all kind of on the same page with the Tobey Maguire ones.
Tobey Maguire is Spider-Man.
Just the
The other
best.
Spider-Man did good, but he's just the best Spider-Man.
Not a big
I
fan
have
of.
to agree with Angel on that.
Tobey Maguire was the best Peter, Andrew Garfield was the best Spider-Man, and
Not that much different though. I would say.
they're all
Yeah, but
Spider-Man.
they're all in alternate universes. Like, there's not. If you look at universe, was it 161, the main Marvel universe? It's all very like the Tobey Maguire movies go the closest off the comics. Which is
Yes.
why I kind of said like me and Angel are both kind of going off of Tobey Maguire because I'm like listening to what Angel's saying. I'm like, yeah, that's Tobey.
Mhm.
But no, it's like well, Batman's thing is like you gotta understand. He lost his parents at what, like 8 or 9. He had multiple years to go through therapy to take over the company, and yet he chose to go
Brood
off into
in
the
a cave.
Himalayas and train to become Batman. Like he had a lot. It's like Tony Stark.
Plus, he's uber rich.
Tony Stark had like the same backstory as Batman with his parents being killed by an assassin, and yet Tony Stark turned out, as an actual decent human being. The Iron Man thing came later.
Yeah.
He got blown up by a bomb and then was like,
I don't
he
know.
was an
I mean,
alcoholic.
he sold arms. He was an arms dealer, which, because they stole his weapons.
no, and see, and now, no, and now,
No, they stole the weapons. He wasn't selling to them.
no, he wasn't selling to them. They were stolen. And you're also going off the movies with that. And see, and you're going off the movies for that. I know.
Yeah, I was going off most of the comics actually.
Yeah. No, in the no, to be honest, Tony Stark's the number one flaw. It wasn't that he was an arms dealer. Like, yeah, he was. But the big
He was a
thing
genius first.
the big thing with Tony Stark was he had a very bad alcohol problem.
Yeah, and they never really show that.
Well, they showed in the first movie. But
Yeah,
the
but that was
reason-
it. Then they got rid of it.
No, and do you know why?
Why?
Because Robert Downey Jr. had suffered from I think it was heroin addiction and gotten sober.
He didn't want to.
And because he was having to play another addict role, he was very worried he was going to relapse, so they abandoned that idea for the sake of him and his sobriety. Because in the
That's good.
first movie,
That's good.
they do a very good job of him hanging, walking around, kind of partying, and then I think it's the second movie because they recasted War Machine, Rhodes.
Yeah, I honestly think the first guy was a better Brody.
Yeah,
Brody.
I agree.
Brody.
But the second movie when Rhodey steals the War Machine suit, that's really like the last scene you really see Tony Stark drinking because he's like blasted. And that's the other thing. They did it really good with like showing why he quit drinking. He had a suit of armor be stolen from his house while he was drunk. He got beat up by his best friend because he was drinking.
You let your best friend beat your ass and he stole your suit.
Yeah. So yeah, like they did a really good job of like phasing out the alcoholism with Tony Stark. And like the third movie was just like PTSD from the Avengers, the first Avengers movie.
Which was
Like
pretty
they
good in its own right.
Yeah, like they did a really good job incorporating the alcoholism instead of or the PTSD. No.
It was just you, Jacoby.
You answered it. We got into a
Asked.
tangent about Marvel versus DC, and then we got sidetracked. Angel, it is your turn. No, you're
Again, what are the rules of the zombies?
I mean,
Are we doing this again?
I gotta know. I gotta know. It affects the decision. I gotta know.
I'm gonna say since Star was the one to ask the question, probably like Walking Dead rules, I'd assume. Yeah, go ahead, Star.
I mean, I was more focused on like The Walking Dead, especially since that's a show I'm currently watching.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I haven't really seen much of The Walking Dead, so are they attracted to sound?
But they're basically attracted to anything, especially sound. And if you pay attention to most of it, like to kill them, it has to be right in the head.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, they can like. It's not like with like certain. So which one was it? Like Resident Evil, where like if you move quietly, they won't see you. Like in Walking Dead, they will definitely see you. Was The Last of Us? Okay. Like they are very sound oriented, but it's not all sound. Like if a zombie sees you in Walking Dead, it's still gonna come after you.
All right. Well,
I feel like Walking Dead and Zombieland have kind of similar zombies, to be honest.
all right. Then, if they're still attracted to sound, is my goal just to survive forever?
I mean, yeah, probably.
All right. And ammo's not an issue unless it's obscure, right?
Yeah.
Saiga 12.
Ooh. You're gonna go with an unreliable AK that shoots shotgun bullets.
Yes.
Hell yeah!
Yes.
I give you. Oh hi, Autumn. Yeah, I can definitely get behind that.
Cause why not?
I love the meme of like AA-12, gun that took years of development. Sega 12. Hey Ivan, let's make AK that shoots shotgun bullets. It's like, you know what? That's very accurate. So basically just what happened.
I was gonna go with the AA-12, but I figured it'd be funnier just to say the Saiga.
I mean, they both have a lot of issues with feeding in general, though.
You know, that comes with a drum mag.
Yeah, they're both just kind of like
Is either
jam-o-matics.
that or the saw.
M249.
I don't remember. Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
also comes with loading issues, so I'd rather
mean,
just
not
have a drum
really.
mag that I can just dispense instead of having to reload a chain.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with the saw you gotta think about is like, well, yeah, 12 gauge is very available. The M249 saw fires 5.56 or 223, so you're gonna have it very readily available.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but I mean, both are very good choices.
But yeah, AA or a Saiga 12, either or.
Yeah.
And then, honestly, I might switch it a bit and probably go with like, I don't know if this is really obscure, but I've seen like a lot of them in gun stores that I've gone to. It's like the mix between the slugs and the buckshot or whatever.
I think I know what
I
you're
don't
talking about, but
I wouldn't really know if those are obscure or not.
yeah. I mean,
Because like I'd rather I would go with a slug, but also if I miss, it's just gonna like whiz past. Again, if you're in, and plus it usually has a bit more oomph to it.
yeah, I feel like if Jacoby had gone with a shotgun, he'd been like Dragon's Breath rounds.
Yeah, what is Dragon's Breath gonna do to a zombie?
I mean,
Especially one that you.
It's like the thing with Dragon's Breath is like you don't have to shoot the zombie in the head if you just burn it to death. It's like the Terminator.
Suppose,
You drop the Terminator into a vat of molten metal. He's kind of gonna die. But yeah.
I suppose.
But no, I definitely think a shotgun in general is a really good choice.
Mostly, anyone that, in my opinion, that isn't really a pump action.
Yeah. And then, Angel, if you are done, it is my turn.
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay. See, I'm very torn now. Jacoby made like a good point with like the bow, and like the bow's a very good choice for like sound. Like you're trying to stay quiet and not alert.
Well, like I
hordes.
said, if ammo's not an issue, then I don't care about being
Yeah.
conservative.
But like, yeah. No, it's just like I definitely see like the quiet factor. So like it kind of like leads me to like a honey badger with 300 blackout. So it's like dead silent. But like, man, Angel saying that shotgun. I think if I had to pick only one for zombie, I would pick the Spaz 12. Simply because the Spaz 12 is one of the few semi-auto shotguns that has the ability to convert to pump if necessary. So let's say I'm using because again, this is zombie apocalypse. You're going to be using whatever ammo you can find. So let's say if I have to resort to using Dragon's Breath or some of the low power shotgun shells, that's not going to have enough gas to actually cycle my gun. So I'm going to have to revert it to pump action. It's like breaching rounds. You can't use breaching rounds in a lot of semi-auto shotguns because they don't have enough power to actually cycle the shotgun. It jams. So having the Spaz 12 where I can flip a switch and go pump action would be probably just the best decision. Because I can have it semi-auto with like double op buck and slugs, but you know, let's say I am running low on ammo eventually, I can use the lower power, kind of cheaper stuff. So yeah, there's my opinion. And Star, you're up.
I'd probably go with an AK-47 because why not?
I knew that was what she was gonna
Also,
say.
one of my favorite guns.
It's
But it's also hard to do that because it is better to have melee weapons as well. But you'd want a gun if there was a horde.
Yeah. And like that's the other thing when I said the shot. Yeah, well like that's kind of like another part of the logic like when I chose the shotgun is my kind of logic with it is inevitably I'm going to die. Like that's just a fact of living in a zombie apocalypse. But with a shotgun I have the best chance of taking as many out with me. I don't really have to worry about conserving ammo because there is such a wide variety of 12 gauge ammo. I don't really have to
cast nuclear bomb.
And the thing is, if I'm using any sort of shell with spread, I can kill more than one zombie at a time. I can take. It's like because I was also thinking like, when Angel said the M249 saw, I was like, M240 Bravo. But it's like, you know what? How common is 7.62 by 51.80 or 308? You know, I feel like you're gonna have a lot less of that than you're gonna have 12 gauge, just in general. So yeah, no, I definitely think an AK is a good choice because it's very reliable. I mean, those things don't break. They really don't. They're very reliable. But the ammo is gonna be Star's biggest problem because of the import. Like if let's say again, we're kind of going off of where we're at currently in the world. This happens tomorrow. There's only due to Americans' bans on assault weapons and stuff like that. There's only so much 7.62 by 39 or 5.45 here in America. So like something like an AR-15 that has a lot more common ammo here in America is going to be a better choice for ammo reasons. But at the same time, the AK is definitely better for reliability and survivability. Because that's the thing, you got to think, you're in the zombie apocalypse, you're going to be running, you're going to be moving, you're going to be fighting, potentially like melee, you're going to be smashing a zombie's jaw with your buttstock. you're more likely to break an AR's buttstock off and ruin your rifle than you are an AK. The AK has the ruggedness to get you through.
Let alone, you could always just modify it after you get it. I mean, we're not really taking.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be honest. I think the AK has a better bayonet. Most modern ARs don't have the bayonet lug. Most AKs have at least the spike bayonet, so you have a melee weapon on the end of your rifle.
Yeah.
So I definitely do think like the AK is like the best middle ground between a silent melee weapon and a loud rifle.
Besides, if you ever find a katana, I can literally just rip off the hilt and then, if I really wanted
that
to,
boy to the AK.
literally just tape it to the barrel.
Yeah. Again, AKs
That'd be
are just,
fun, not gonna lie.
AKs are just super rugged. You can do a lot to them. ARs, it's like the AR is set up for a specific way. You put too much you put too much weight on front end, it'll break. And I see a lot of ARs where it's like, if you're like, especially like, again, I'm a redneck, zombie apocalypse happens tomorrow. I have the proper equipment here, or someone near me has the proper equipment to reload ammo. I can reload spent brass.
Yeah, same.
With the AR-15, 5.56, 223, they're finicky with ammo. A lot.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like an AK, it's like, okay, I'm sure at least someone in the comment section is going to be like, M1 Grand, 30-06. I got at least 3,000 rounds sitting in a blue, oh god, what's it even, like blue barrel. Sitting in their like barn. But yeah. Yeah, we're all done with that. My voice is trying to leave. However, it is my time to end us with the last plan discussion. We can do a couple more like improv because we'll probably have time. But this is the last planned one for the night. Again, I planned on Vamp being here, so there would have been a whole other discussion between between Jacoby and Star. So that's kind of why we're not doing this. But anyway, and mine has a lot to do with Stars. If you got drafted to go to war tomorrow, you can pick any firearm to take with you, but you can only take one. What are you picking? And Star would go first.
Just give me a minute. Oh, just found it. I'd probably go with an M2 Browning.
The M2 Browning.
That is so. You're gonna die. You are going to kill.
In my opinion,
your
it's a very
entire
good gun.
arm.
No, okay, so Star, what context are we talking here? Are you carrying it physically, or are you having it mounted to a vehicle?
I'm mounted to a vehicle.
Okay, if it's mounted to the vehicle, she's gonna be okay. If you think you're going to physically carry around an M2
If you're gonna Rambo
Browning,
that thing, you are nuts.
that thing's like a 20+ pound.
I'm not that stupid.
God, yeah. When she said M2 Browning, I'm like, okay, you do understand you're going to war. And then I was like, okay, maybe she's motorized infantry. Maybe she's on a Humvee. Okay. Jacoby, you're up next. Yeah, sure. Then Angel, if you have one in mind, go ahead.
M14 EBR.
Ooh, the Mark 14 EBR. Yeah, that's a very good choice. Yeah, you got 7.62 by 51 NATO or 308. Very accurate rifle. Just all-around good rifle, and it's used very commonly by special forces. So yeah, that's a very good choice. I will say the thing with the Mark 14 EBR is it was basically the government looked at all the leftover M14s they had from the contracts that were abandoned and said, what can we use these for? Navy SEALs. Hey, we'll take them. Okay. Yeah, no, the Mark 14 EBR, it's pretty insane. Jacoby, have you thought of one? Alright, go ahead. I don't think I've ever heard of that.
You can go obscure, but that's obscure, dude. Damn.
Model 1897 trench gun, yeah. Which was then replaced by the Model 1912, which is what you can use in Enlisted if you play as the American faction. Shout out to Enlisted. Anyway.
Sponsor us, please.
No. For the love of God, please don't. So what do you say? It was Winchester... Okay. So you're telling me you're going to take that over a regular Remington 870 or Mossberg 500 or a Benelli M4?
The Benelli
You're going to
M4.
take Grandpa's shotgun with plastic furniture made to look like wood for the trench gun aesthetic.
May I suggest
Understandable.
the Benelli M4?
Yeah, I was going to say, the Benelli M4 is just like, if I have to take a shotgun to war, the Benelli M4 is just... And like, I was thinking about the Benelli before. I was like, oh wait, Benelli doesn't have a manual mode. If I go Spaz 12, I have a pump for zombie apocalypse. You know. Can I propose, or can I give a recommendation? The Winchester 1200, the military variant, was set up with the bayonet lug and heat shield from the original trench gun, but it's a modernized shotgun on level with the 870 and the Mossberg 500. It was used in the original Modern Warfare games, the W1200.
Wow!
It's a very good gun. I don't think I'd ever choose it over an 870 or a 500 or even a 590. But if you want to go with the kind of modernized, true trench gun aesthetic, because that's the thing, the one you sent, or the one you said, the SXP, doesn't have the heat shield, which was like the most iconic thing for the trench gun. And land M37. Yeah, again, it has that aesthetic. I think you'd like the Ithaca M37. Is it really? Okay, that's great. Yeah, because the Ithaca was the one that we used during Vietnam, and it's on Call of Duty Black Ops 1, it's referred to as the stakeout. It's just like a cut-down version. Okay. I mean, yeah, again, to each their own. It's a very cool aesthetic. It's just, I don't know. I don't see myself wanting that over an 870.
Because you're lame.
Or a Benelli, again. We have so
The
many
Benelli M4!
We have so many good options for shotguns nowadays. It's like choosing something purely on aesthetic over performance is just kind of like, But no, I completely understand. I think it's a wonderful choice. You're definitely going to be the breacher of the squad. You're going to be the one kicking in the doors and taking a, rifle round to the plate carrier. And then that brings us to me. Man, I really don't know off the top of my head. There is one that me on game get myself into my house so I don't get blown up by a creeper.
They
Funny
want
that,
cuddles.
funny that we're talking about war and
They do not want cuddles.
Yes, they do. Stop
believe
lying to
their
yourself.
lies.
Stop lying to yourself, Angel. You know what
Quit
they want.
gaslighting me, lady!
He's just
So you
a
get too
little
excited that they explode.
He just has ADHD. So, ma'am, your son's a terrorist. He's just a little worked up.
He just gets like that.
He just executed an entire village in Southeast Asia. He just got a little excited.
He's just a little quirky. Leave him alone.
He just napalmed a group of kids.
Who hasn't?
I'm trying to find the specific gun. God dang it. I had it saved somewhere years ago for a story. Here it is. The Mark 12 Special Purpose Rifle. It is a designated marksman rifle that was designed for United States Special Forces. And it is basically just a regular M16 firing from 20 or 30 round just standard magazines that they put a bipod on the front and a big scope on. It's basically just an M4 that they squeezed every little bit of accuracy and range out of. And I think it's beautiful. So we got Star with the heaviest machine gun possible. Jacoby with, the coolest shotgun possible. I don't even remember what Angel picked off the top of my head. Wow.
M14 EBR.
Yeah, the Mark 14 EBR. So you got me and Angel over here with marksman rifles. Star with the biggest machine gun possible, and then Jacoby with the coolest shotgun possible.
Because, of course.
Why not? Now, Angel, did you ever play Call of Duty Ghosts?
Yeah, I did. It's one of my favorite COD games.
Now I know where the Mark 14 EBR love comes from.
Mm-hmm.
The Mark 14 on that game with the thermal scope, brother, you're all
It was
dead.
nuts.
You're all dead. Like, I literally choose the Mark 14 over the SR25 on a regular occasion. And the SR25 is like a more advanced Mark 12 special purpose rifle. So the SR25 is a progression of the same kind of program as the Mark 14 and the M21. The only difference, it was made by Knight's Armament Company, which has a very long history of making suppressors for the United States military. So, very cool company and very cool weapon. I think the SR25 just recently took over as like the primary marksman rifle for, I want to say, the Marine Corps. I don't remember though. But yeah, SR25 is just a cool gun. I don't think like the SR25 itself took over. It was like the military variant. I can't remember like the actual like designation of it, but yeah. Oh well, Ghost had some very unique weapons, and I think honestly Ghost was the last one to really have unique weapons because around
Advanced Warfare and Infinite Warfare.
Well, right around when Ghost happened, there had been a school shooting involving a Remington rifle that was used in Ghost, and Activision ended up getting sued because of it. Because apparently, video games cause violence. And because Activision used the gun used in this mass shooting in their video game, they got sued by the family as well. And from then forward, that's kind of why you don't see Call of Duty use like actual firearm names anymore in games, is because they don't want to get sued again. So like AKs and M16s and stuff like that are older, they can still use, but like Remington ACR, can't use that anymore, and a lot of other stuff. the Genesis 12 and a lot of newer shotgun, like newer gun, like Black Ops 2 with the KSG. They can't use KSG anymore. I know it's
Kiss it, nog.
And then oh god, what was it? The TAC 12 in Call of Duty Ghost, which is the UTS 15.
Oh, I didn't realize there's 2 Ember mains. Oh no.
Which is now in fun fact.
Angel, they want to be your
A
friends.
shotgun from Call of Duty Ghost.
They do not.
Basically ended up in Helldivers. It's not the exact same thing, but it's like the UT or US. I don't remember what it's called.
It's the UTI.
No, but no, there is.
Oh my god.
There is a shotgun in Helldivers that basically looks very similar to the TAC 12 from Call of Duty Ghost, which in real life is the UTS 15. But yeah. I like how none of us picked a pistol for either choice.
Why would you when you have assault guns?
I mean,
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, but like Rick Grimes made that revolver look pretty cool, man.
For zombies that aren't shooting back.
No, but
What do you mean, Doc?
I was saying none of us chose pistols for either choice, war or zombie.
Again, ammo isn't an issue.
I mean, yeah, fair point. I don't know, man. And that's the other thing is like when you said M249, with the M249 being replaced by the XM250, you know, parts for the M249 and ammo for it are going to become a lot more common on the civilian market. So you're going to be finding that a little more readily available to civilians. Yeah. Anyway, that is all the questions we had planned for tonight. We only have 8 minutes left, so we're actually pretty darn close. So if we had Vamp here, again, I wouldn't have talked as much in the earlier questions, and we probably would have went all the way to time on those discussions. So I'm happy with that. I'm happy with this episode. It's been a really neat episode. We've learned a lot about each other. And you guys, the viewers, have learned a lot about us as well. As always, if you guys specifically have any questions you want to ask us, leave it here in the live chat on Twitch or in the comment section on YouTube if you're watching this on YouTube. And I will compile them and make sure they get answered either at the beginning of next episode or the end of next episode. I don't know when we'll kind of do you guys, the viewers' questions, but we'll work them in every week. As long as you guys are asking us questions, we'll make sure to answer them. What do you say, Angel?
I said eventually, maybe.
Eventually, maybe. Sorta, kinda. But no, I'm more than happy to answer just about any question. And again, there are certain questions that we will not be answering, so keep that in mind. You know, be knowledgeable with your question and understand if we don't answer your question, there was probably a reason for it. Either it was too personal or it was just inappropriate. I really want to, I can't wait to talk to Vamp, tomorrow, whenever the next time I get to talk to him and see what his question was going to be. Because again, he was, the only one who had, adamantly said, hey, I came up with my own thing. I don't want anyone else's input. Jacoby, you still alive over there?
I think everyone died.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's very quiet now. Is everybody just dead? What's going on?
I don't know.
Okay. The energy is just me and Angel have the entirety of the energy for the group right now. Everybody else, the other two are just non-existent.
I'm chilling on a game and doing color by number, so.
Oh, great.
I feel like me and Angel
Wow.
are just energy vampires.
Yeah. I really do feel like that sometimes.
Okay, so to end this
Speaking of
off here,
vampires, I might watch
Vamp on.
Vampire Diaries.
Oh.
well, no, to end us off here, I've been on YouTube Shorts today, and I saw a very neat thing floating around. So I am not a Doctor Who fan, nor have I really
never
watched
watched Doctor Who.
any of Doctor Who. But clips from the episode in which the angel statues are involved with have been floating around in my feed on YouTube Shorts. And I just want to say the concept of the angel statues is crazy.
Oh, the Weeping Angels.
Yeah, the weeping angels. Like, that has been all my, like, I'll get on YouTube Shorts, I'll scroll like 2 or 3 videos deep, and then bam, another clip from those
Oh,
episodes.
I'm looking at the wrong one.
Like, the weeping angels, dude, that is like a terrifying, like, concept.
Oh my god, I'm alive. Holy shit.
The weeping angels, like, the mimic. The mimic is a very terrifying, like, concept. A creature who can take the form of any living thing, and you would never know. Like, a random stranger could walk up to you and talk to you at Walmart tomorrow, and they could be a mimic and you'd never know. Like, that is terrifying.
Go watch the Mandela catalog, bro.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard of that.
That's all it's about.
Okay.
It's a YouTube series, but it's called the Mandela catalog.
Okay. Might have to look that up here after stream.
I'll honestly, if you want, we can go to Discord. You can set up a watch together, and we could all watch it. At least something. I don't know.
I don't know if Star would be a big fan. And Jacoby's been sick all day. He didn't even go to work today.
Be a big fan of what?
Ah! Jacoby, don't yell at me.
Horror movies. It's an analog horror, so it's a bit of a slow burn, but
The
I like it.
only scary thing I've gotten Star to watch with me was Silver Bullet.
And I Am Legend.
That's not even scary. So
Scary
leave
for
Star
me.
alone.
me, Star, and Star's sister
Fear is subjective. It is not
watched
a
the
something
entirety of the movie Silver Bullet, which the entire premise is like the pastor was a werewolf who was killing people.
that's cool.
She had no problem. It's a Stephen King film.
Oh,
She
of
had
course.
no problems whatsoever with it. We watch I Am Legend, and she has had multiple nightmares resulting from it. And you only get to like actually see the monsters in I Am Legend in like 5 scenes.
You see them several times.
Not that
Yeah,
all that
5
much.
times.
The majority of that movie
Still.
is just Will Smith singing songs and talking
And talking to his
himself.
dog.
No, not the dog!
The worst scene I made Star look away, I think, was when he has to, the dog.
That was so sad.
It's very sad.
But it was what was required.
Didn't you all hear that
Otherwise
the
was
dog that played that dog passed away just a couple months ago or something like that? Like last year, maybe.
Say that. I'm sad now.
Yeah, the dog passed away.
Damn, no.
We've lost so many
I
good
forgot the
actors in the
dog's
last
name.
couple of years. Wasn't it Max or something like that?
It was Sam.
No,
Sam.
it's Sam.
Yeah, Sam.
There is a movie and a book called Max.
Yeah.
It's with a German Shepherd.
It's
feel like-
pretty lame.
I feel like next time me and Star are together, she's gonna make me watch Frankenweenie, and I'm just not excited.
Oh
for
God.
that.
You're watching
No.
Frank and Weenie with me.
No!
No?
I watched it when I was younger.
We'll watch the live action version.
There's a
What?
live action?
There's a live action Frankenweenie?
There's
Yes,
a live.
there's 2 of them.
What is it
Why?
There's an animated cartoon and there's a live action.
called? Okay, Star. If I watch the live action
Why?
Frankenweenie, you gotta watch Pet Cemetery.
No.
They're the same
No.
thing.
I
Same
watched.
premise.
Shut. I watched stains on that
Don't-
from
don't
TikTok.
expose
You are
Star to
not
that.
getting me to watch that.
That's mean.
It's the same premise.
That's so mean.
Especially, well, actually,
It's the same
No.
premise.
Yes, just make her watch the new
you'll
one.
give me nightmares
No,
for
dude,
life.
the baby crawling out from under the bed and stabbing the person, that scene gives me nightmares still to this day. Yeah. See, I watched the entire Saw series. I think it was like up till like Saw 5 or whatever. Like when I was 5 years old. Like I watched every Saw movie that had been released at the time when I was 5. And then I watched all of the Chucky movies up until I think Seed of Chucky or something like that. Like literally 2 years after that. Like I have been watching horror movies for years. And Pet Sematary to this day
I'm a horror movie junkie.
is one of the few that is just like no no no. Like I'm the type of person where like if I get scared or like if there's a movie that's really cringy, I will just walk away. I'll stand up and leave the room. Like my dad has been like, "Hey, I want to watch a movie with you." And there's like a cringy like kissing scene, and I'll just stand up and go to the kitchen.
I
I just
do that as
avoid
well.
things. Yeah.
I definitely don't.
Anyway,
Like, I
guys,
don't mind seeing any of
we're
that.
over time. As always, we hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you all in the next one. Peace.